Good afternoon, everybody. Jim Warren with TXAPA. Glad to have everybody here today. We're continuing our Asphalt Fundamentals program. Today is on certification successes. Got two great guys in the studio today. We're going to have a lot of fun today talking about probably the most important subject that we can talk about, which is certification and how to be successful with that. And what does that mean? So today we've got Corey Schwarz with us today as our guest. Chuck Fuller is our moderator today. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing great, Corey. How about you?
I'm doing great. And did you hear Jim gave us a compliment? Two great guys. I like that, Jim. Thank you so much.
It only comes once in a while. So.
I really appreciate being here with Corey. Again, the certification is so important, and it includes the fundamentals. Our fundamentals that we started with aggregates, oils, production, placement. We've had 7 of them. And this, like Jim said, is the most important out of everything that we talk about is not only the certification, but what does it mean and how do we be successful with it? And again, Corey, you're the director at the HMA Center, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So, and how long have you been the director over there?
It's going on 5 years now.
5 years. And we've done a lot of different things over there at the center to make this more successful. This whole process, the certification process, more successful. I know we had some trying times during COVID, but you guys ponied up and were able to deal with the COVID situation.
Yeah, the COVID, created some obstacles, but we, the staff over there, kind of stepped up and came up with solutions to make sure that we were able to. Jim is riding a horse over there. That is
giddy up, buddy.
Giddy up.
We
saddled
job,
up and
man.
we tackled the problem. That's all I gotta say.
That's it.
But it was a staff effort, and they did great over there, making sure we had the virtual programs going, but then even restructuring our classes to the fact to where we were able to still have in-person classes, just limiting capacity, making sure there was only so many people in a class, following all the CDC guidelines and that stuff.
Well, and that's so important because our whole process, our industry, our flexible pavement industry rests on your certifications.
Yes,
it rests on whether or not we're doing the tests that we're doing and how we have acceptance with those tests and how we have quality control with those tests. Again, it all rests at that center.
Mm-hmm.
So and
I'd say over the last 10 years, the bars every year seems like the bar gets a little higher and higher, and we're making that program a little harder and harder. That way, we know that the materials that we're testing follow the specifications.
Great. And talking about that, when we talk about the certifications, how many certifications are available for an individual, or how many certifications are available there at the center?
Okay, so Jim, do you mind going over to our webpage real quick?
There you go.
For everyone, it's TXHMAC.org. A lot of people make the mistake of going to Texas Asphalt, and then they can't find anything. So go to TXHMAC.org, and you'll be able to find it. Right here, we have certification levels. When you click that, Chuck, we have different levels here that you can kind of see. We have a level 1A, 1B, level 2, SB 101, SB 102, SB 103, SB 202, wow. SB 202, I'm sorry, 201, then 202, and then AG 101. So 9 levels total.
9 levels that you can be certified in. So is one person certified in all those levels, or do you have specialists that are certified just in one particular level?
It's kind of a wide range of things. We have individuals that actually have all 9 certifications.
Wow.
And then we have individuals that might just be a field person and have a level 1B or have an SB 102. And, some of them do have prerequisites to others, but our webpage kind of goes into all that detail for those things.
That webpage is very powerful, has a lot of information on it, has a lot of detail in it. What else is on the webpage, Corey?
Other things on our webpage. So if you go to our tools section right here, you can see there's forms. So those are just generic forms that you could use out on the job.
Important.
Very important. You want to make sure you have your raw data written and saved somewhere. And that's what those forms are. Yeah, no Post-its, no napkins.
No napkins.
No writing on the table.
We are professional, and we need to be, have that attitude as we go into this.
Absolutely.
We have our videos. We have quick links to the test procedures, quick links to the specifications, quick links to Site Manager. It's pretty much you go here, you can find anything that you need that relates to certifications. But we'll hit the video one. So the HMAC has its own YouTube channel.
Okay.
We have 214 subscribers right now. So as Jim likes to say, what, Jim?
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. So please like and subscribe for us. But here,
And hit the notification bell to be notified when you post a new video.
yes.
There you go.
And our hope is to be posting more and more videos. Right now, we have all level 1A videos out there on the internet,
Awesome.
on YouTube, and we're in the process of getting the 1Bs and the soils ones up there too.
And you're updating this all the time, right?
Yes.
So, and I know that you spent a lot of time, you and the staff over there spent a lot of time to help individuals become successful in this by switching over to your online testing, right?
Yes, we have an online testing platform. It's called Classmaker. I've pulled up a little example right here. Jim, can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to continue. This is just an introduction screen, and we're going to give you a little test, Chuck. Let's see how you do, Chuck. Let me hit continue. It's going to come up. It says I finished the test.
You're going to have to read him the question.
Hold on one second.
Chuck,
I had
you passed. You passed
an
the test,
error
Chuck.
right there. Let me get back up here.
You passed the test,
But
Chuck.
let me log in because it gave me an error message
I
there.
don't
Sorry
know
about
about
that.
that.
All right,
It's online
I guess
here.
we'll have to cut this part out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to cut. No, it'll be really quick. Let me just
All right.
preview the test.
Okay.
Chuck will put his name right here, so
Are we
I'll
back
just put
in?
myself.
Okay, here we go. All right.
You got me in there.
I got you in there.
Okay, we're there. CJ, I don't want to put my personal email in there.
Yeah, I just put Chuck Fuller at chuckfuller.inc. Yeah.
So it tells you how many questions there are, how long you have for the test. Everything is self-explanatory there for the technician. And you get here. And our first question today is, what type of facial hair does Jim Warren sport? A goatee, B, a beard, C, handlebar mustache, or none of the above?
Okay, so if I go ahead and hit the handlebar mustache,
You would just click that and you would move next. And that gets you to the next question. But what I want to point out here is we're not going to go through all these questions. Right here, you can kind of see under where my name is, there's a little flag there. If you click
A
that,
bookmark.
a bookmark, yes, a bookmark, and you click that, it basically bookmarks your spot. So if you don't know the answer to this question, and this is a key thing that you would want to tell your employees, or if you're taking this test that you want to do, you want to bookmark that and come back to it. You don't want to spend 5-10 minutes on a question because it's a time test and you only have so much time.
You don't want to get hung up on something. Just
Yeah, good point, good
skip,
point.
move on, and come back to
Yeah,
it.
and the way you come back is right here. It says see all questions. You just click it and it tells you which one was bookmarked once you go past it.
well, that's, I mean, again,
Nice.
this is to help the individual become successful in being able to take the test and being able to pass the test.
Yeah.
And again, there's requirements that you have to be at a certain level to even be able to come in and take the test. And you provide a lot of that training. You provide a lot of that through YouTubes. You provide a lot of that through other methods.
Yes.
In other words, if an individual comes and wants to be a 1A, which is a specialist that's at the asphalt plant, what do you think that 1A needs to, before they can come and take the test? Where do they need to be at in their understanding of test procedures and what's required before they even come and take the test?
They need to be familiar. They need to be able to operate or maneuver through a manual really quickly, and they need to be able to physically run the test without any. I mean, it's like riding a bike, right? You do it over, you do it over, you do it over, and it just becomes part of habit. But the one thing that we see the most, we offer training as well.
Okay.
But we've put all these tools out there because training's not required. It's just another option,
It's a tool.
a tool that we're giving companies out there to utilize. But we've also put all of our stuff out there to where they can actually train their own people with these YouTube videos and those type of things. But the key that we see the most is someone that's successful is someone that doesn't just show up the day of. So if you have,
that's real important, guys.
even if you're 5 years in and you just show up the next day, it's going to be tough. Like you need to the week before, 2 weeks before, start looking at those things, because Chuck, a lot of times you might be on the road one day, you might be at a plant one day, you might be doing soils one day.
That's a good point.
And so you really need to focus back in and kind of go over all those details.
Something that was real successful at the company that I worked at is that we had a mentoring program, where somebody wanted to become a 1A and wanted to learn the test procedures and how to be that specialist at the asphalt plant. Well, we sent him or her, to the asphalt plant to get the hands-on. And we mentored that individual for several months before we even thought about bringing them to the center to be able to get certified. And again, it's real important that we have a lot of tools. And again, this is the fundamentals of being successful, right? Being successful in not only in being able to take the test, being successful in your job. And these tools that are available, like you said, YouTube's are free, right?
YouTube is free.
YouTube's are free. Your stuff that's online is for free.
Yeah, Jim,
right?
can you pull up our
Yep.
website again?
While you're doing that, that's got to just add a lot of confidence to the person
Absolutely.
taking the test, that they feel comfortable doing it. They've done the repetition. They know what the resources are. I mean, if I had to go in and take a test cold, never having to run it, man, I would be nervous as a cat. But having those opportunities, I like what you said, Chuck, about the mentorship. I like what you've done with having all those resources up there, Corey. Really, really good idea on great stuff. So here's here's back on your computer screen.
Yeah, one of the things I forgot to show was the digital manual. So if you go under virtual or
cool.
HMAC Now, and you can go click on the digital manuals right there. And basically it's all of our manuals, all the worksheets, all those type of things. So it's practice that you could print out and continue to practice.
And again, this is all free, right? I mean, we're not paying for any of this.
All that's free.
This is all free. So there's really no excuse to come to the center to try to get certified without having this background. And that's real important. I can't stress that enough. It doesn't do the company, your company, any good. It doesn't do the individual any good. And again, like Jim said, I get nervous. When you say the word test, I mean, I get nervous. I get I get scared.
You did get 100% on the one question I asked you today.
I did. I got the 100%, but I get scared. I mean, I did a defensive driving because I had a speeding ticket back in 1964. But with that defensive driving test that I took
you just took that last month.
I almost failed it. I mean, and it was because I got so nervous. And so you have to have confidence. What Jim is saying is so important, is that you have to have confidence that you're running the test correctly, that you know what you're doing, that you have that background before you come to the center. And like Corey said, even if you have 5 years into in other words, you've been out there running, if you don't bone up on the test procedures and bone up on the specification, you're going to have a hard time over there getting recertified.
And some of them have changed.
Absolutely. We've had 72 changes over the last year.
And that's part of why we have every 3 years, is because every 3 years there are updates, there are changes to the test procedures. And, that's when you kind of get reacquainted to those new changes.
And again, we're following TxDOT's requirements. It's part of the specification. If you're doing any work with TxDOT you have to be certified. And that's just the bottom line. Whether you're the contractor side or the acceptance side, you have to be certified. So what does this certification mean? Why is it so important to be certified, Corey?
Well, we need to know what we're doing out there. If you think about it, you have a core. I'm just going to pick this one up, Jim. I don't know. You have a core. Think about
that's one core.
That's one core. Like if it's 2,000 ton lot or 2,000 ton lot, sublots 500 tons. What are we running here? About $100 a ton. So this core, one core is about $12,500. Is that right? No, $25,000. $25,000. So, we get into a place to where that's a lot of money. So we want to make sure that we're doing every little thing correctly. So when we're coring, we want to make sure that the asphalt's to the right temperature, which is part of it.
We use the random numbers.
Start with the random numbers. You're right. Random numbers first.
That's the most important thing.
And the key is it's random. We've heard different stories out there. It's not always random. We just go pick a spot, and that's not the right way to do it.
Right.
And so, we just want to make sure people are following the test procedure step by step, so that when we're testing that product, we get what that product actually is. Because if we core that too soon, it's going to expand a little bit. The air voids get bigger, and all those kind of things.
It's going to get fluffy.
It's going to get fluffy.
And what did you say, Jim, earlier? That
nothing good ever happens to a core once it leaves the ground. So
I love
once
that.
It comes out of the hole.
But that is so true. But for the certification process and for you to be certified, you're showing that not only do you have knowledge of the test procedure and that you can follow the specification, and that it has so much dollar value associated with it. There's other aspects of being certified. You're a professional. That shows that you're a professional, just like you have a lawyer or a PE or an MD. Those professionals, when you get certified and you have that certification, you are a professional. And that's really important to understand, is that you're not only a professional within your own right here, but throughout the whole state, right? Your certification's good throughout the whole state of Texas.
Throughout the whole state of Texas. And that's the thing too, right? You're saying all these things. If it's easy and everybody can get it, career-wise, it's pretty much, it's not a career.
Right.
But as we raise this bar and it's harder and harder for technicians to actually get certified, it becomes a profession because not everyone can do it. You have to be at a certain level to be able to do it. It becomes a career.
That's exactly right. And that's something that I cannot stress enough to everybody out there is that when you do get this certification, when you go through the mentoring program, you go through the training, you go through the education, you get that certification, protect that certification. And how do you protect that certification?
You can own it, right? It's yours now. It's your certification. Take pride in it. Have some ownership over it. Make sure, we'll use 1A, for example, make sure you're doing your proficiencies. Make sure that you're, reading the emails that come out, because sometimes 2 years ago, we had some updates in test procedures. And basically we sent an email out saying, these are the changes. Please acknowledge these changes, watch the video, sign off on it. And if you didn't do it, you lost your certification. And so, you want to do the little things too that keep it going in the long run. Own it.
And whether you're QC, which is the contractor side, the quality control side, or QA, which is the owner side, TxDOT side, which is quality assurance or quality acceptance, you have to be certified. You have to be certified 1A. So you can be on either side of that aisle. Right?
One of the things we hear the most, Chuck, and I know you've probably heard it,
I've heard it.
Like, I don't do these tests. I just watch the QC guy do it.
That's right. So the QA.
The QA says.
How do you know?
How do you know that? You're right, Jim. How do you know they're doing it the right way if you have that attitude? So you really need to own your certificate too, and own your job, and be like, you know what, I'm going to make sure that QC is doing it right. Or, and the QC probably wants to make sure the QA is doing it right as well.
Absolutely. So this is a suggestion to be successful now. So you've gone through the training, you've gone through the mentoring program, you've gone through everything. You go out there and you get your certification, you get your 1A or 1B. Let's use the roadway. Let's use the roadway. 1B is the roadway specialist. You get your 1B and you're working for TxDOT, whether it's TxDOT or CENI, and you're watching these guys run the test and making sure that they do the test and making sure that everything's done correctly, right?
And they're doing their test at the right
they're doing
frequency.
their test, right? You need to, as a QA individual, you need to run some of those tests with the QC guy just to keep in practice, right?
Yeah, that's a great way to practice.
That's a great way to practice, and every single QC person out there would pat you on the back. Run those density profiles yourself. Just don't watch them being run. Go ahead and run those joint profiles yourself instead of just watching them being run. Go ahead and actually participate.
Well, and the roadway is a great example. It's not a safe place out there.
That's right.
So have each other's back.
Absolutely.
So if you're running a joint density, I'm there as a QA, kind of watching you run it, but also watching your surroundings to make sure that you're running it safe.
That's a great point.
Because you're really the only two out there, 1Bs, that are doing that together.
Absolutely.
And that cone doesn't provide a whole lot of protection out there when you're out there by yourself.
It really doesn't. And especially when you're out there doing cores. Because typically when you do the cores, you're away from the paving train, you're back there by yourselves, and you really need to watch. Both the QC and QA need to be watching each other's back. That's a great point. The main thing here is that when you're a QC, quality control, you need to run all those tests. When you run all those tests, that's required. It's required by the specification. But if you run them correctly and you're paying attention, you will know if you have an issue before QA pulls that acceptance. Before that $50,000 core comes out of the hole, you'll know what's going on.
Yeah. That's part of quality control, right? You're wanting to make sure that everything you're controlling the quality. So you're sorry about that. At any point, if a core is pulled, you're going to be good.
And I can't stress that enough, that together, when we talk about partnering or we talk about working together, it's not that, hey, I'm not going to run this test and you're not going to run the test and we're going to sit in our trucks. Partnering is, I'm going to run this test. You're going to watch me run this test.
And I'm going to watch your back. And
you're going to watch my back. And if I do something that's not correct, see something, say something, correct? If you say, hey, we didn't mark that profile out correctly, let's remark it out.
Well, the great thing, the test procedure is online. So you can go
good
straight
point.
to the digital manual. If we disagree on how it's supposed to, we can go straight to the manual, partner together, read the manual, come up with a solution. And if we still disagree, just give me a call. Give someone at the center a call, and we can, or give you a call. I know you help a lot of situations like that. We can help, read through the test procedure with you and make sure that it's being done correctly.
And that's how you become successful, okay? So we have a quality awards program that we do every year with TxDOT. This year we had over 77 jobs nominated for quality awards all over the state. That's where Harold and I have been, all over the state, from Amarillo to Laredo. But we're looking at these quality awards. But when a contractor wins a quality award, they go up there to accept that award with the owner, with TxDOT.
Mm-hmm.
And every single award, I've been doing this for a while now, every single award winner never says, I did it by myself. They always say, we did it together. And you're not going to win a quality award if you're both not on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be, you'll never win a quality award if you're not on the same page. Both QC and QA working together, making sure that they're getting the good numbers, making sure they're getting a good ride, making sure those joints are done correctly. That's how you become successful.
If you think about it, that should be the goal, right?
That's
an award-winning project. Because why? Because it's long-lasting. It's going to be smooth. It's going to be quiet. You have all those kind of things. That's the goal, right? And whether you're QC or QA, you should want the same thing.
And that's how you become successful again. And what does anybody ever want to go to a project and say, that's a really bad project and I was a part of it?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants their name on a bad project. And that's the goal here, is that every day is different. Every day you have to communicate. Every day you put that certification on the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every day you put that core on the line. And that's real important to understand, that as a professional, you have to do your job every single day.
Well, it comes back to something you had mentioned the other day when Jim and you and I were talking, and that's the whole proactive versus reactive.
Yeah,
and I felt like that was like, my mind blew when you said it that way, Jim, or you said, I don't remember, but my mind was just blown in the fact that
Chuck will take credit for
it. Chuck's going to take credit for it, just like you, Chuck. But I don't know if you want to go more into that, but that whole proactive thing was mind blowing.
And again, after the fact, you can't do anything about it. It's a done deal. But if you're proactive, you're running those QC tests and you see changes, or you see things happening, or you see that you're not getting the compaction that you were. And again, this is, you've got to run these tests. You've got to do this to be able to know where you stand. You just don't want to run rolling pattern at the beginning of the project and that's it. The rolling pattern is going to change throughout each day.
Yep.
Every day is different.
Yep.
Moisture contents are different. Cloud cover is different.
Well, you should even follow the pavers and be checking that multiple times, an hour probably. You should be making sure that every hour you're getting a couple density readings behind the pavers.
How much is that core worth? A lot.
One core, $25,000.
Yeah,
right there.
I mean,
it's a lot of money.
It's not a lot to ask. I know the 1A or the 1B for the contractor pretty busy out there, but this is a critical thing. I mean, when we talk about potential bonuses, there's a great opportunity here on that, just to stay on top of that. So we've got to do what we've got to do in order to get these things to work. And the proactive part of it is absolutely correct, guys. And we cannot emphasize that enough.
Yeah, it's easy too to fix. So if you start to have an issue, you can start to make those adjustments right then and there in real time. But after the fact, the reactive, that could be an issue.
Absolutely.
And Chuck's whole thing about communicating back and forth with the plant during the day, having that email or that text group text or whatever you're doing to communicate back and forth. How are the temperatures running? How does the mix look? How does everything look? And then I know you're probably going to throw your debrief in there somewhere, but having those chances to communicate are really, 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 really critical.
Absolutely. And Jim, thanks for the softball. I cannot tell you guys that to be successful, not only in our certification and be successful as a 1A or a 1B, you have to communicate and you have to do it every single day and you have to debrief. How many times should your person on the roadway be talking to the person at the asphalt plant? A minimum of 4 times a day, a minimum 4 sublots, right? Minimum 4 times a day. How's the temperature? How's it going? How many times should we be talking back and forth to the owner or the TXDOT or the CE&I and the contractor every shift? Before the shift or at the end of the shift, let's talk about, is our joint straight? Is our traffic control good? Do we need to be looking at segregation? Do we need to have a conversation about anything? And it just takes 4 or 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day. That's all it takes. And includes safety first. Again, I love Michael Lee to death. He's the one that brought up that if we do it safely and we have quality in mind, we're going to have durable, long-lasting payments, and your production will raise. You will get better production and make more money. If you think about safety first and quality second, you're going to make more money as a contractor. Yeah. And again, TXDOT is aware of the fact that there's bonuses available. And David Till, and I love David Till also, he was one in one of our fundamentals, and he said that I want to pay a bonus. I want to help you get that bonus. And the reason he wants to help you get that bonus is because he's an award winner. And he knows for him to help you get that bonus, it's going to be an award-winning project.
Yeah. Well, you talked about mentorship too. Like if you work with him, you should search him out and be like, hey, can you kind of, we meet for lunch or we meet for dinner once a year, or once a month, and kind of pick the brain. Like that's part of mentorship is, right? Sometimes you got to reach out and ask for those people that are like David Till that have won multiple projects.
Absolutely.
Like, will you help me? I want to win multiple projects.
And I think if you would do that, I can't think of anybody who would say no if they would reach out. And if they do, give us a call. We'll help you. Because that's you're trying to better yourself. It gives them a little boost because someone's reaching out to them because they know they've been able to produce. And I think that's a real key thing there. So. Yeah, good stuff.
And we can all name people. Like I can name 4 people off the top of my head that through my career that actually took time to make sure that I, mentored me to know where I was and those type of things. So.
Absolutely. I mean, I can do the same. Again, Jimmy Whitehead showed me control charts when I was at Raymond Paving Company, and I was just amazed on what a control chart could show you, and it just blew me away. So from that day forward, I wanted to see control charts. I wanted to see where we were at, and I wanted to know where we were at. And if we didn't have to make a change, or if we did have to make a change, we made it correctly, and we based it on the information and the data that we collected. So important. Control charts are so important. Again.
Absolutely.
Another deal.
That's a tool right there for certification success, because you know what you're doing out there. Then you get to see it in real time.
Absolutely. And guess what? It's part of the specification. That's the beauty part of this.
We're supposed to do it.
We're supposed to do it. That's the beauty part about this. If you follow the specification, you do what's right, you're going to be successful, guys. That's the main thing about it. And with that, Corey, so I do know that you and Travis Patton of Materials and Test are going to start a field verification. And you're going to get out there a little bit more now that we got the COVID thing somewhat behind us a little bit.
Yeah, so we'll be making some plant visits and some roadway visits, and we'll be going out to the different districts and projects and just kind of being out there, kind of being some, feet on the ground kind of thing, kind of seeing what are the needs that we need to do to help our technicians out there be successful. And so we'll be going out doing those type of things, making sure they have the right equipment, making sure they know how to run the test procedures properly and those type of things. It's not a hammer. It's nothing like that. It's more of us going out there being a tool.
Being a mentor.
Helping them out. That's a great idea.
That's exactly what it's about.
That's a great idea.
And when I heard that you guys were going to do that, my hat's off to you, because again, I know that Travis and you guys are very, very busy, but it's so important. I just can't stress the fact that for us to be successful as an industry, we really need to have each other's back. We need to see something, say something, just like in safety. So who's responsible, Jim, for safety?
Everybody.
And who's responsible for quality?
Everybody.
Everybody. I just can't stress that enough. I do believe that if we do the right thing, we follow the specification, we work together, we have each other's back, we can do it safely. We have that quality behind us, and we'll have a successful, durable, long-lasting project. And pretty much what I believe, and I think that's what you believe also. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, Corey, so at the center right now, how many people did you have go through the center last month?
A little over 500.
500 individuals. Now that's a lot of individuals going through the center with the different certifications that they're getting. And I believe that you're probably going to have a record year this year, I would think, right?
Yes, sir. I think with COVID, that kind of backlogged some people. And so we're playing catch up right now. And, that's the one thing. If there's not a class available when you need it, please contact us, because we will work our hardest to make sure that you get into a class. We have waiting lists that we then open up additional classes throughout the year as well. But, communication, you said it a while ago, is key in pretty much everything we do. Right. And if you're not communicating us a need, we don't know that need.
And I do know that the cities and the counties are starting to move more toward a TxDOT specification. Mm-hmm. Jim Warren has worked diligently in putting together specifications for cities and counties, and it includes certification. It includes you having to be certified. So I think that's the reason why we're seeing more and more individuals come through, mm-hmm. is because the cities and the counties are adopting a specification that's going to be successful. And it goes back to the fact that we're doing tests, that we're proving what we're doing, and we're making sure what we're doing follows that specification. And if you're a city or county out there and you need the specification, just contact Jim Warren or myself, and we'll get it to you. But again, it follows the fact that you have to be certified, you have to follow those test procedures, and I think that it's going to make you more successful. You're going to have more durable, longer-lasting pavement structures out there if we do mm-hmm. this.
Absolutely,
and that's the main thing here. So if there's anything else, Corey, that we need to talk about,
No, I think we're good. I guess I just like to leave with a thought of, when you're coming to the center, success starts with preparation. So you want to make sure that you're coming not just from the job, but that you've looked through your manual, that you've watched videos, if there's videos online, that you've practiced the math, and that you're coming prepared. Mm-hmm. It's not just I walk in, the center tells me what to do, and I do it. You got to know.
And you do have options to train, to go through a training seminar mm-hmm. that you guys have, and you have it for 1As, 1Bs.
Every class.
Every class. So there's training available. Again, I can't stress enough. Use the mentoring program, use the videos, and use the training. I mean, come prepared, guys and gals. It's gonna help you overall.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
So, Jim, anything else for us?
No, I think you guys did a great job. Stayed right on time and covered the subject. So good deal. Be safe out there, ever forward, and keep making good asphalt. We'll talk to you soon. Take care, everybody.